At the Mexico Olympic Games in 1968, Tommy Smith and John Carlos risked their lives and reputations in support of the American Civil Rights Movement. In 1973, with 90 million people watching, tennis champion Billie Jean King risked the reputation of women the world over, crushing the former men's world #1 tennis player Bobby Riggs in straight sets. And Colin Kaepernick played 6 seasons with the San Francisco 49ers before taking a knee during the national anthem in a peaceful protest that kicked off the Black Lives Matter movement, losing his job in the process. Like it or not, there have been sports stars all throughout history who used their accomplishments to create awareness and make a difference in the world. But then there are champions like Mildred Diedrichson Zaharias, who are so good that they make a difference just by being who they are. In the 1930s, she won Olympic gold medals, played on the PGA Tour, and was a world-class bowler, baseballer, basketballer, swimmer, diver, boxer, tennis player, billiards player, and cycler. Women's sport was a novelty until Babe stepped up to bat. For the 1936 Olympics, African-American sprinter Jesse Owens went to Nazi Germany and won 4 gold medals, showing Adolf Hitler and the world where to stick the Nazis' ludicrous Aryan ideals. And in 1947, Jackie Robinson risked his life to break the baseball color line when he took to the diamond with the Brooklyn Dodgers. His love of the game was so strong that his courage heralded the end of racial segregation in major U.S. sporting codes. But then there's a champion like Joe Louis, the greatest heavyweight boxer in history. First, the Brown Bomber changed the world by virtue of how good he was. Then he risked it all when the world was literally on the line, before he took the concept of champion to a whole new level. But was he really the greatest heavyweight? If you ask the average person on the street, who is the greatest boxer of all time, it's unlikely that they'd answer Joe Louis. In modern times, it's more likely that they'd say Floyd Mayweather or Muhammad Ali. Even Floyd will admit this.
Ali was considered the greatest. I call myself TBE, which is the best ever.
He's good, but champions from the lighter divisions can't beat the heavyweights. They're too small. Just ask a heavyweight great like George Foreman.
Mayweather's a talented fighter, but he's not a heavyweight. I could fall on him and beat him.
With that out of the way, if you ask someone who is the greatest heavyweight, they're probably going to say Muhammad Ali. Even the President of the United States will give you that answer.
Only a few athletes are ever known as the greatest in their sport or in their time. But when you say the greatest of all time is in the room, everyone knows who you mean. It's quite a claim to make. But as Muhammad Ali once said, it's not bragging if you can back it up.
Ali went by many names: Cassius Clay, the Louisville Lip, the People's Champ. But Ali is most commonly referred to as the greatest, because that's what people think he is.
I give you one more chance. Who's the greatest? You are! All right.
And why do people think he is? Because he told you, repeatedly. Even before fighting a seemingly unbeatable champion like Sonny Liston. And when Ali, then Cassius Clay, beat Liston for the world title, he revolutionized heavyweight boxing.
My ability, my physique, my dancing, my footwork, my pretty white shoes, my shuffle, just everything. Muhammad Ali, magic. When the bell rang, ding, it's on, I'm boxing.
Everyone thought Liston's size and power would see him reign as the champion for years. But Ali was younger, bigger, faster, and he had more stamina. Ali whooped him, and this wasn't a one-off. 10 years later, he did the same again when he went up against our previous friend, Big George Foreman, who was the most dominant force the division had ever seen.
I'm too fast, I'm too skillful. The little kid was in the Olympics when I was fighting people like Sonny Liston, when I was fighting Joe Frazier. He was in the Job Corps. The man don't know nothing, and I'm gonna show everybody out there watching this show and the whole world, and the world will bow and admit that I am the greatest of all times when you see what I do to George Foreman. I'm just getting hot thinking about it.
Ali went into the unwinnable fight against Big George, and he didn't just win. Ali knocked him out. Ali was good enough to do what he said he was going to because he was unbelievably good. He was an Olympic gold medalist when he was 18, heavyweight world champion when he was just 22. He was the first 3-time heavyweight world champion, and he was the Ring Fighter of the Year 6 times. He's one of the greatest of all time, without doubt. So why isn't he the greatest of all time? Well, you have to compare Ali's accomplishments to some of the other greats. You have to compare him to a champion like Rocky Marciano. The Brockton Blockbuster crushed all comers and retired undefeated with a record of 49-0, the only heavyweight champion to retire with a perfect record. And when Marciano won, you knew he won because his opponent was usually unconscious. Marciano knocked out 43 opponents, giving him the greatest knockout ratio in boxing history. Compared to Marciano, Ali lost 5 times, and he won more than a few bouts by dubious decisions. Just ask Ken Norton, who went 1-2 against Ali over 36 rounds for 3 decisions, including 2 splits.
Yeah, I was getting tired of 7 rounds, yeah.
By comparison, Rocky was terrifying. But because he had retired 5 years before Ali became a pro, Ali was instantly compared to Marciano when Ali became the champ. And most thought Marciano would have won. That includes our hero, Joe Louis, who had retired almost 15 years before Ali's reign began.
How do you think Marciano would stack up against Clay?
Well, I would have to pick Marciano because I think Clay don't punch hard enough to keep Marciano off him. So I would say within 6-7 rounds, I think Marciano would knock him out.
Louis had his money on Marciano, but it's not as easy as that. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.